starting this conference in the name of God the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. And it's our prayer that at the end of it all, we will have a successful conference. These are many that we ask. In the name of God the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Thank you very much, Mr. John Tugulu. Ladies and gentlemen, shall we please rise for the Ghana National Anthem? We shall sing the Twi version, or in any language you can.
Thank you very much. Before we continue with the rest of the program, I would like to acknowledge the presence of some dignitaries and esteemed guests. We have in our midst this morning the Majority Leader. Shall we please welcome him? We also have the Minority Leader, Osahin Alexander Kwamena Afenyo-Marking. We have the Majority Chief Whip in the person of Mr. Roxon Nelson Dafiameko. Then we have the Deputy Majority Chief Whip in the person of Madam Comfort Doyo. We also have the Deputy Minority Leader, Madam Patricia Apieje. We have the head of the Parliamentary Service of Ghana, the Clerk to Parliament, in the person of Mr. Ebenezer Ahomajetro in our midst this morning. We have our Deputy Clerk in charge of Legislative Management Services, Mr. Camilo Puaman. We have also Deputy Clerk in charge of Corporate and Financial Management Services, Dr. Mrs. Gloria Sako Kumewu. We would also like to acknowledge our Assistant Deputy Clerks, Senior Principal Assistant Clerks, and all management of the Parliamentary Service of Ghana. Shall we please give them a round of applause? We have also the host editor. Sorry, before that, we have here the president of CHEA Africa region. He's in the person of Mr. Steve Katawa Banda from Malawi. We have the host editor, Alhaji Adam Idrisu. And then we have the rest of our colleagues from the Hansard office. Shall we please acknowledge, if you're here from Hansard, kindly give us a wave. We also have dignitaries and delegates from various countries across Africa representing their parliaments. We have a delegate from Botswana. Botswana. If you are here, kindly rise or wave so we can welcome you. Eswatini, Kenya, Lesotho, Malawi, Nigeria, South Africa, Somaliland, Sierra Leone, Tanzania, Uganda, Zambia, and then, of course, the host nation, Ghana.
Thank you very much. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, we shall take the welcome remarks by the host editor, Ghana. Alhaji Adam Idrisu Esquire is currently the Vice President of the Commonwealth Hansard Editors Association, Africa Region, and President of the Official Reporters and Editors Society, Ghana. Mr. Idrisu joined the Parliamentary Service of Ghana in June 2002 and trained at the Government Secretariat School, where he was awarded a verbatim reporter certificate. After the training, he was placed as reporter grade 2 in 2004. He rose through the ranks from reporter to senior reporter, principal reporter, deputy editor. He currently works with the Parliamentary Service of Ghana as the editor of debates, chamber reporting, thus head of the Hansard office. Mr. Idrisu has extensive experience in official reporting during his career, which spans over 2 decades. In fact, he was the sole reporter of the following activities: inauguration of the 6th Parliament of Ghana on 7th January 2013, address by President Barack Obama to Parliament of Ghana, 11th July 2009. He also produced other essential documents. Mr. Adam Idrisu holds a first-class honors in management studies and an MBA from the University of Cape Coast, and he obtained an LLB from the University of Ghana, Legon, and a higher diploma from the Tamale Technical University. Currently, he is a solicitor of the Supreme Court of Ghana. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Alhaji Adam Idrisu.
The Honorable Majority Leader, the Honorable Minority Leader, the Honorable First Deputy Majority Leader, the Majority Chief Whip, Honorable Majority Chief Whip, the Clerk to Parliament, Deputy Clerks, Management of the Parliamentary Service, distinguished editors of debates, directors of Hansard and delegates from across Africa, esteemed colleagues and guests, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the Parliament of Ghana, I welcome you all to the 11th Biennial Commonwealth Hansard Editors Association African Region Conference. With Ghana having last hosted a conference in 2014, we are happy to have you back here again in the vibrant city of Accra. We extend a warm Ghanaian welcome, Akwaba, to all distinguished Hansard practitioners from across the African continent. Let me begin by acknowledging the Speaker of Parliament, Right Honorable Alban Sumana Kensford-Barbin, who will be joining us shortly to grace this occasion and to honor us with his presence this morning for his enduring commitment to the development of parliamentary democracy, not only in Ghana, but across the continent. Right Honorable Speaker, we are grateful for your service, support, and sacrifice. As the editor of Debates, I am humbled to welcome so many distinguished editors of Debates and Hansard practitioners, both from Ghana and across the continent, whose leadership and dedication continue to elevate our craft. This year's theme, Charting the Future of Hansard, Embracing Technology and Innovation for Enhanced Parliamentary Reporting, is both appropriate and timely. The Hansard, while rooted in tradition, cannot remain static in a new technologies, editing software and digital publishing platforms offer unprecedented operation of the Hansard. Yet, even as we embrace these tools, we must safeguard the editorial principles that define us: originality, verbatim accuracy, editorial neutrality, timeliness, and completeness. The ethics and ethos of Hansard practice are guided by professionalism. Innovation must therefore always serve our democratic mission, not replace it. We are navigating this shift. Mr. Ebenezer Ahuma Jethro, for his support in hosting this conference. CHEA, we are extremely grateful. We are also grateful to the Executive Committee of CHEA, especially the President, Mr. Steve Banda, for his continued leadership and vision. I take this opportunity to also thank the Planning Committee, the Working Group, and the Conference Secretariat for their tireless efforts in preparing for this conference. It will be a mistake on my part not to extend appreciation to the leadership of Parliament for honoring us by their presence. Honorable leaders, we are very grateful for your presence. At this conference, there will be 17 presentations. 70 papers will be presented during the one-week conference. A paper from an honorable member of Parliament, civil society. Presentations will cover varied topics and areas, such as AI, assisted transcription, and editing of parliamentary proceedings, ethics, the Hansard, among others. Ajiman Wallace, the immediate African Center for Parliamentary Affairs, Dr. Rashid Rahman, the Executive Director, Parliamentary Network Africa, Mr. Sami Obin, a former editor. This conference has brought together 63 delegates from Botswana, Eswatini, of course Ghana, Kenya, Nigeria, Sierra Leone, Somaliland, South Africa, Tanzania, Uganda, Zambia. I must commend Kenya for sending the largest delegation to this conference. These few days ahead of us provide an opportunity not only to chart the path forward, but to strengthen the bonds of professionalism and friendship that make our work so rewarding. Once again, welcome to Ghana. Let this gathering foster thoughtful dialogue and strengthen our shared commitment to excellence in Hansard reporting and parliamentary transparency. Akwaba.
We'll now take remarks from our next speaker, Mr. Steve Katawa Banda, who is currently the head of Hansard for the Parliament of Malawi. And he has been in this position since 2021. He has served as principal editor for Hansard in Malawi from 2017 until 2021. And this morning, we are privileged to have him here to grace this occasion. Ladies and gentlemen, let's invite the president of CHEA, Mr. Steve Katawa Banda.
Good morning, colleagues. The Majority Leader, Honorable Mahama Ayariga, the Minority Leader, Honorable Saheni Alexander Afenyo Makin, honorable members present here, the Clerk to Parliament, Mr. Ebenezer Jetro, Deputy Clerks of Parliament, and other senior parliamentary officials here present. Let me also recognize the presence of the President of the Association of Verbatim Reporters of Nigeria, Mr. Gobina Drisu. If you are around, please can you stand? And also present is the President of the Hansard Association of Kenya, Mr. George Wanyoko. Let me, in a special way, also recognize the host editor and the current CHEA Vice President, Haji Adam Idrus, distinguished facilitators and presenters, members of the press, dear participants, ladies and gentlemen. Honorable Majority Leader, let me make a confession that since I arrived in Ghana, I've tried to master the Twi language, at least to get to know the basic words. I've only managed to master only 2. So I'll try to use them sparingly to make sure that I do not confuse the participants and the delegates. On behalf of the Commonwealth Hansard Editors Association, Africa region, I would like to extend our deepest and profound condolence to Parliament of Ghana and the government at large for the loss of the 2 cabinet ministers and 6 government officials who perished in a helicopter crash. Guest of honor, please take our deepest condolences and convey them to the relevant authorities. With your indulgence, can I propose that we observe a 2-minute silence and we stand for that occasion? Thank you. May their souls rest in eternal peace. We may get seated. Thank you. Guest of honor, as I proceed with my remarks, as CHEA, we are greatly indebted to the Speaker of Ghana Parliament for having allowed us to host this 11th biannual conference right here in Ghana. We were supposed to be here last year in 2024, except for the untimely death of Mr. Hubert William. As such, we couldn't hold that conference. Now that the Speaker had to allow us to proceed and host the conference, we are so grateful as CHEA. Through you, sir, as the guest of honor, allow me also to register our greatest admiration and appreciation for the warm hospitality which has been accorded to all participants since our arrival. We have felt the warmth of Ghana, more especially the warmth of Accra. And we are yet to enjoy it because we have a few more days to go. we restart? Yeah, yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are welcoming the Right Honorable Speaker of the Parliament of Ghana. Shall we please rise and welcome the Right Honorable Speaker of the Parliament of Ghana. Shall we please resume our seats? Thank you very much.
The Speaker of Parliament of Ghana, Right Honorable Urban Sumana Kingsford Babin, welcome to the CHEA conference. We are amidst presentation of speeches, so with your indulgence, allow me to proceed with my speech. Thank you so much. Right Honorable Speaker, this grouping, the CHEA draws participants from across the Africa continent, specifically the Hansard staff who are there to produce the official reports for the House. And these staff are divided into 5 regions. We have the Western Bloc, which comprises Ghana, Sierra Leone, Nigeria, and others. We have the Central Bloc, we have the which comprises Seychelles and Mauritius. The main objective of this grouping is that now that you did allow us to converge here in Accra, Ghana, for the 11th Biennial Conference, we are so grateful and we look forward to interacting and sharing knowledge on how best we can produce quality Hansards. During this conference, we have pulled eminent presenters from within Ghana and also across. We have a presenter from Kenya who shall be presenting as well. So, Right Honorable Speaker, we are so hopeful that within the next 5 days, we shall come out of this conference quite enriched, quite educated, and quite informative. As I wind up my remarks, allow me to acknowledge the House of Parliament of Ghana for having organized this important workshop for us and conference. We do not take it for granted, and we are so grateful that you did manage to organize such a wonderful, magnificent conference. With these few remarks, I thank you for your attention. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, we shall take the remarks by the Clerk to the Parliament of Ghana. Mr. Ebenezer Ahumah Jethro is a Clerk to Parliament and has extensive expertise in legislative management, governance, and public administration. He was called to the bar in June 2004. Mr. Ebenezer Ahumah Jethro has served in the parliamentary service since 1996 and has risen through the ranks to his current position as Clerk to Parliament. He has provided legal and procedural guidance to numerous parliamentary committees, including the Business Committee, Constitutional, Legal and Parliamentary Affairs, and Foreign Affairs Committees. His contribution to Ghana's legislative framework includes the review of the standing orders of Parliament, the enactment of significant legislations. He has also played a critical role in the reformation of the African Parliament's rules of procedure and the constitution of the Commonwealth Parliamentary Association, Africa Region. He has also demonstrated leadership in conflict mediation, coordination of high-profile conferences, and fostering collaboration among stakeholders. Renowned for his strategic thinking, procedural expertise, and innovative problem-solving, he continues to inspire trust in innovative legislative guidance and public service in Ghana. Ladies and gentlemen, with a round of applause, shall we welcome the Clerk to Parliament, Mr. Ebenezer Ahumah Jethro.
Thank you very much, and good morning to all of us. Good morning to all of us. Good morning. Thank you very much. Right Honorable Speaker, Honorable Majority Leader, Honorable Minority Leader, other members of the leadership here present, Deputy Clerks, members of Parliament, the President of the Commonwealth Hansard Editors Association, Africa Region, senior management, members of the Parliamentary Service, editors of debates and directors of Hansards, distinguished delegates and dignitaries, members of the press, ladies and gentlemen. I consider it a great honor and privilege to deliver these brief remarks at the launch of this important and august conference, which brings together Hansard officers from across the Commonwealth in Africa. On behalf of the Parliament of Ghana, I warmly welcome all of you, our esteemed colleagues and friends from across the continent, to the beautiful shores of our beloved nation. To all of you, I say Akwaba. which means you are most welcome. Mr. Speaker, the decision of the Parliament of Ghana to host this conference is a clear demonstration of our unwavering commitment to strengthening the Hansard as a critical tool, an essential pillar in the architecture of parliamentary democracy. Indeed, the Hansard is far more than a record of words. It is the voice of Parliament, captured in time. It serves as a historical and legal archive, an authoritative account of what has been said and decided in the Chamber of Parliament. It provides transparency for the public, a tool for media scrutiny, and a vital reference for members of Parliament, legal practitioners, academics, civil society, and indeed the bench. I say so because of the recognition of the Hansard as a critical tool, even in dispensing justice. When the need arises for us to really find out the intention of Parliament, we consult the Hansard. And the law recognizes this. The Interpretation Act of Ghana recognizes this, pursuant to the decision of Pepe and Hart, following which the United Kingdom and the Commonwealth extended recognition to the Hansard in interpreting legislation and administering justice. Without an accurate and impartial Hansard, democracy will lack the documentation needed and learn from its past. It is, in essence, the institutional memory of Parliament, a living archive that enables continuity, legal consistency, and procedural integrity. Although the conference was originally decided to take place last year, circumstances beyond our control made it impossible to do so. I am, however, delighted that this year, with approval and full support of the Right Honorable Speaker, we are finally able to bring this vision to fruition. Mr. Speaker, the theme for this year's conference, Embracing Innovation and Technology for Enhanced Parliamentary Reporting in Africa, could not be more timely or appropriate. Around the world, parliaments are increasingly embracing digital transformation. Africa must not be left behind in this revolution. To strengthen our democracies and improve our legislative processes, we must invest in cutting-edge technologies that elevate the standards of parliamentary reporting and documentation. As you gather to deliberate on the theme for this conference, I wish to also draw your attention to the pressing imperatives of digitizing the Hansard. Digitizing the Hansard records ensures broader and faster access to parliamentary proceedings for citizens, researchers, and stakeholders, both nationally and globally, vital records for posterity. Digitalization also ensures greater inclusivity when citizens their mobile devices and democratic participation. A digitized Hansard is therefore not just a tool for institutional emphasis here. The empowerment of the public, the true owners of our democracy. Moreover, digitalization enables us to integrate AI, speech-to-text transcription, and intelligent search for functions that improve both accuracy and efficiency in the production process. This transformation is vital in ensuring that our reporting system keep pace with the evolving demands of modern legislatures. In this regard, Parliament of Ghana has taken bold steps in adopting and deploying emerging technologies in our operations. Notably, we are in the process of integrating artificial intelligence into the recording, transcription, and editing of parliamentary proceedings and documents. We have also commenced the process of digitizing all Hansard records. This forms part of our broader strategy to modernize parliamentary administration, advance the Open Parliament initiative, and improve efficiency in service delivery. By leveraging digital tools, we can bring grievances addressed and the aspirations reflected in national development efforts. In conclusion, I commend each and every one of you for being part of this historic gathering. May the deliberations we engage in, the decisions we make, and the communique we adopt serve as a blueprint for the future of the Hansard profession in Africa. Let us chart a new course, one that embraces innovation, enhances accountability, transparency, and strengthens the foundations of parliamentary democracy across our continent. Hopefully, to secure for us and posterity the blessings of liberty, equality of opportunity, and prosperity. I thank you all for your attention.
Thank you very much, Mr. Jecho. Our next speaker is a seasoned lawyer, accomplished legislator, and a strategic leader in Ghana's democratic landscape. With over a decade of experience in parliamentary business and a distinguished background in law, his contributions span national governance, regional diplomacy, and international legal forums. Osahin Alexander Kwamena Afenyo-Markin entered Parliament in 2012, having won the Efutu constituency seat on the ticket of the New Patriotic Party. He has since played vital roles in parliamentary leadership, first as Deputy Majority Leader and later as Majority Leader, all in the 8th Parliament. Currently, he is the Minority Leader of the 9th Parliament of the 4th Republic. In Parliament, he has been an active member of key committees, including the Defense and Interior Committee, the Finance Committee, and the Public Accounts Committee. He currently serves as the Vice Chairman of both the Appointments Committee and the Business Committee. Osahin Afenyo-Markin is not only an exceptional lawmaker and legal brain, but he is also a successful businessman whose dedication to public service is worth emulating. It is my honor this morning to invite to the podium the Minority Leader of the 9th Parliament of the 4th Republic of Ghana. Ladies and gentlemen, Osahin Alexander Afenyo-Markin. Shall we welcome him?
Honorable Majority Leader, colleagues in leadership, Clerk to Parliament, and Management of Parliamentary Service, President of Commonwealth Hansard Editors Association, Africa Region, distinguished delegates and observers, directors of Hansard and Debates, members of the press, ladies and gentlemen. It is a distinct honor to be part of this gathering and to deliver these few remarks at its opening. Permit me to associate myself with the sentiment already expressed, particularly that of the President of this august forum. On that note, Mr. Speaker, I shall begin on a solemn remembrance. In the past few days, our nation has been shaken by two heartbreaking tragedies: the loss of 8 public servants in a road accident while returning from a church activity. That is the Church of Savior ministry. Today, we stand united in grief with the families, friends, colleagues, and communities who now bear the weight of these losses. To the bereaved families of our fallen public servants and every parent, guardian, and loved one mourning the young souls we lost. The scripture reminds us in Psalm 34, verse 18, quote, "The Lord is close to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit," end quote. May the souls of all the departed rest in perfect peace, and may their memories inspire us to serve our nation with renewed dedication. Mr. Speaker, the value of Parliament is not only measured by the laws we enact or the motions we adopt. They are also reflected in the integrity of the records we keep, the fidelity with which we chronicle our deliberations, and the depth of accountability we permit through public access to our proceedings. In that regard, Hansard remains one of the most important pillars of institutional memory and democratic legitimacy within any parliamentary democracy. Dating as when Thomas Kesson Hansard's name became synonymous with the official record of parliamentary debates. For over 200 years, the Hansard has stood as a critical tool for democratic oversight, transparency, and the institutional memory of legislators across the Commonwealth. The Hansard is more than a verbatim record. It is the institutional conscience of Parliament. It provides a complete, accurate, and permanent record of the debates and decisions that shape the lives of our people. It is a critical resource for legal scholars, political scientists, historians, journalists, civil society actors, the general public, and not the least, our judges, the jurists. Permit me to cite 2 examples to support my submission in respect of how Hansard has contributed in resolving litigation in our courts. First was a matter of Benjamin Eyi versus the Electoral Commission, where the matter of whether or not the Electoral Commission had any constitutional instrument at the time it initiated the process of the district assemblies in Ghana. After 3 days of argument in the Supreme Court of Ghana, Milord Atuguba, the presiding judge, then called for the Hansard of Parliament to resolve the matter. Indeed, it is the procurement of the Hansard that finally led the court into coming out with a decision that is now a precedent in our country's legal system. The second was a matter of Afenyo Markin versus the Speaker of Parliament, whereupon the pronouncement of Mr. Speaker in respect of some vacant seats became a matter of controversy. Again, Hansard provided clarity regarding the controversy in the House of Parliament. The Supreme Court, guided by that, was able to take a decision. So indeed, the Hansard is very, very important for democracy. And those of you who are involved in keeping such records must always be commended and celebrated. Mr. Speaker, for those of us who have committed ourselves to public service through legislative work, the Hansard is not simply an administrative tool, it is a custodian of truth. In moments where recollections falter or narratives are contested, it stands as an impartial arbiter of facts. In my own legislative journey, I have relied time and again on the Hansard, not just for recollection, but for clarity, for affirmation, and for grounding my argument in verifiable precedents. To the editors and officers who make this possible, those whose labor is often unseen but is critical, I offer my profound respect and appreciation. Yours is a duty that demands both technical precision and institutional loyalty. In an era where information flows rapidly and there is misinformation, your work preserves authenticity. You are not just transcribers, you are archivists of democracy, guardians of legislative integrity, and defenders of institutional memory. Mr. Speaker, the theme of this year's conference, Charting the Future of Hansard, Embracing Innovation and Technology for Enhanced Parliamentary Reporting in Africa, is both timely and urgent. We find ourselves at crossroads of tradition and transformation. The digital age presents a profound opportunity to modernize how Parliament functions and how they are documented. But digitalization must not be viewed as a luxury. It is a democratic imperative. Parliament across Africa must resist the temptation to become laggards in the global shifting tools. The use of artificial intelligence for indexing and the integration of online archives must form part of a broader legislative innovation responsive to the needs of a rapidly evolving public discourse. We must embrace technology, not just to enhance efficiency, but to expand access, deepen accountability, and protect institutional memory from the fragility of paper and vulnerabilities of time. My dear delegates, technology alone is not a substitute for capacity. It is therefore critical that even as we invest in systems, we invest equally in the people. The training and upskilling of Hansard staff, the development of common standards across jurisdiction, and the creation of cross-border partnerships for knowledge exchange must all be part of collective forward strategy. In this regard, Mr. Speaker, I commend the Commonwealth Hansard Editors Association Africa region for sustaining this platform of collaboration and peer learning. What I want to add is that they should insist, by working closely with their various clerks and speakers, to ensure sufficient budget for their training. To be part of all official trips of parliamentarians. You don't just record proceedings in Parliament, nor committee hearings and committee proceedings. International programs that parliamentarians attend, including that of the Speaker, must also be properly recorded, and you must be present and must be part of the budget. But before I conclude, I hope I've not stirred any controversy. I've spoken for you as your advocate. In the Parliament of Ghana. History will remember his name and that comes without doubt. It is for this reason that, Mr. President, Alhaji, you are supposed to take advantage of this call to rise to the clerk, and I know, Mr. Speaker, will receive your prayer. Let me reiterate my gratitude to the organizers for their foresight in convening this gathering, and to all the delegates and participants for the seriousness with which you approach this important assignment. It is my hope that this conference will not only stimulate new thinking and deepen professional network, but will also produce actionable outcomes that enrich the work of Parliament and across our continent. May your deliberations be rich, your partnerships enduring, and your commitment to parliamentary excellence unwavering. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minority Leader and Member of Parliament for the good people of Efutu. Right Honorable Speaker, distinguished guests, the next remark shall be given by a distinguished lawyer, accomplished legislator, and a person dedicated to public service, whose career spans law, governance, and public policy. He began his career as a teaching assistant in natural resources law and international law at the University of Ghana's Faculty of Law. He later co-founded and served as executive director of the Legal Resources Center in Accra, an organization devoted to human rights, social justice, and community development. His commitment to public service led him to Parliament, where he first represented the Boko Central constituency in 2005 in the 4th Parliament. He has subsequently served in the 6th, 7th, 8th, and now the 9th Parliament of the 4th Republic. In addition to his legislative work, he has served in various ministerial roles, including as Minister of Information and Media Relations, Minister of Youth and Sports, Minister of Environment, Science, Technology and Innovation, Deputy Minister of Trade and Industry, and Deputy Minister of Education. He currently holds the position of Majority Leader and Leader of Government Business in the 9th Parliament of the 4th Republic. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor to welcome the Majority Leader, Honorable Mahama Ayariga.
Right Honorable Speaker, the Minority Leader, and my colleagues, leaders of both the majority and minority here. I see the Deputy Minority Leader, and I see my Chief Whip and Deputy Whips present, the Clerk of our Parliament, Deputy Clerks and staff of the Parliament, our distinguished guest from the Commonwealth Hansard Editors Association of the Africa region, led by your very esteemed President. You are welcome. The delegations from the various countries present. There are some of the countries that I am particularly fond of and are my friends. I see a large delegation from Kenya. Your president happens to be my personal friend. You're welcome. When you get back, my regards to President Ruto. I also see my friends from Sierra Leone. Sierra Leone has become my second home. I'm happy to see all of you here. I receive guests from Sierra Leone almost on a daily basis. Your president just left here, I think yesterday or the day before. And I believe that my colleague, the minority leader, has highlighted the importance of Hansard. I believe that those of you who have been responsible for recording the proceedings of Parliament, more than any other person, understand the importance and the value of the work that you do. He has indicated how the integrity of the work that you do can be important to resolving important national disputes, i.e., he gave an example of how our Supreme Court resolved an important national issue based on what was captured in our Hansard as testament to the truth, the facts, and what should give finality in the resolution of matters in our Supreme Court. I believe also that you are very aware of all the decisions in England and in North America and Europe generally, and the Commonwealth countries that have given affirmation to the centrality of the records captured in the Hansard as a testament to what really happened in national assemblies, in legislatures, and we should give finality to any dispute regarding exactly what took place. And so there's no doubt that the Hansard and what is captured in it is central to the historical record of exactly what happens in Parliament. Parliamentarians rely heavily on the Hansard and the record there to guide them as to what happened in the past. There are many who will come to Parliament the first time, and it is what happened in the first Parliament, in the second Parliament, in the third Parliament, and how it is captured and recorded that will guide them as to how they participate in legislative processes. And so Hansards are indeed very, very important. And the people who are responsible for ensuring that the proceedings of Parliament are recorded and that they are preserved for history are indeed central to the work of Parliament. And let me use this opportunity to commend all of you for being part of that family of people who have been responsible for preserving the integrity of the work that we do in Parliament. We do appreciate your work and we want to commend you highly. You have come to our city at a time that we are mourning the loss of colleagues that have been part of the legislative family. Indeed, before we lost our colleague in the fatal helicopter crash a few days ago, we also lost one of our colleagues who died about a month ago, and we have been mourning him and even waiting to have a by-election in his constituency, and we've been visited by another loss of a member of Parliament. May their souls rest in perfect peace, and may God comfort their families, their relatives, their friends, and the entire parliamentary community. Indeed, as I reflected on our colleagues who have departed, then it dawned on me that it is the Hansard that will tell a true story of who they are many years later on. Anybody who wants to understand them has to go back to the Hansard and see in the Hansard a true reflection of these great guys who served in our parliaments. And it is these Hansards that will also tell the story of every single member of Parliament who has passed through a parliament, worked in a parliament as a member of Parliament, and has left Parliament. And so we as parliamentarians need to take the Hansard seriously and make sure that it is a true reflection of who we are, what we stood for, and what we said on the floor of Parliament. I believe that you are also meeting in Accra at a very auspicious moment when our world is transitioning into an AI world. And so artificial intelligence and technology generally, and broadly speaking, social media have also become a mechanism for preserving records of exactly what is happening. And this clearly will impact on your work as parliamentary staff and keepers of the record of Parliament. How do you take advantage of these new technologies? How do you embed them in the work that you do? I know that AI now has technologies that enable you in real time to transcribe what has been said into written records and to preserve them in that state. The Parliament of Ghana now has its own television channel, and our television channel broadcasts our proceedings live. And so you, the Hansard Department, are not only the witnesses to what happened and the people who bear testament to what happened, the citizens are also watching live and also hearing exactly what happened. And so you must be seen to be aligning with what exactly they heard. Otherwise, if there's a discrepancy between what they heard and then what you have written, clearly there will be a controversy between you and the members of the public. But beyond that, new AI and indeed social media tools also give us opportunities to make parliamentary records even more relevant to our democracy now and to our governance, because democracy must bear dividends and governance must bear some relevance to the lives of the people, and the work of Parliament must have some relationship to the delivery of services and the mandate of institutions. And I say this because I'm not really IT savvy, but once in a while I have my phone and then I see a message that comes. I don't know whether it's TikTok or it's Twitter or whatever it is, but then it comes and says, "You were mentioned." I'm sure you've seen that also. You were mentioned. Is that TikTok? Or WhatsApp? I know, I just see TikTok. You were mentioned. Is that okay? Yeah, so is it possible that when we're having a debate in Parliament and then, we mention the Minister of Education, is it possible that a message goes to the Minister of Education or the Director General that you were mentioned? It should be possible, isn't it? The same way if a particular district assembly is mentioned, that it should go to the public relations officer that you were mentioned. Or that, welfare issues were mentioned. So the director in charge of welfare, is also mentioned. What I mean is, contemporaneous to the processes happening in Parliament, the relevant institutions, if it is possible that we set up our recording systems, the Hansard Department, so that even as proceedings are going on, even as debates are going on, that institutions relevant to what is happening get notified so that they can be interested. In what respect was I mentioned? How was I mentioned? What was the issue that necessitated me to be mentioned? And that way, and even the youth who these days prefer to be on social media, trust me, many of them will never even read a Hansard. But is there a way that we can connect to the youth so that even as things are happening and developments are taking place in the national parliament, that they get, tagged on and notified about issues that relate to them, and then they can become interested in the democracy. Very often, the right honourable, this matter that has been debated, I want Hansard Department and the Clerk to Parliament to write to this agency or this ministry and notify them of the recommendations made by Parliament. Is it possible that our Hansard departments can be so wired that a speaker doesn't need to give directives that the issues will automatically go to those institutions. So we are meeting in Accra at the most auspicious time when technology is enabling your work and will make your work even more relevant to the delivery of democracy as governance and a social good that should better the economies of our people. Some of the youth that are demonstrating in the various countries sometimes don't even know that their various national parliaments are really paying attention to their issues in the House. Can we make Parliament more popular and democracy more acceptable by linking the work that you do, recording the proceedings with the youth and the social media platforms that this generation are part of? So on that note, I believe that the next couple of days during which you will be working here with your colleagues to take stock of the work that you do and to explore how new technologies will enable you to even do better in your various countries. I believe that the next couple of days will provide you an excellent opportunity to do that. Whilst here, enjoy the hospitality of the people of Ghana. You will find out that we are a very hospitable people. Beyond your conference room and the hotel environment, we encourage you to explore our beautiful tourist opportunities across the country. And don't be packing and leaving immediately after the conference. Spend a few more days, make a few more friends, get to know Ghana better, and send very good stories about Ghana back to your homes. On that note, I thank you very much for coming, and I wish you a successful conference. All the best.
Thank you very much, Majority Leader. We'll now take a cultural performance from the Ehi Momo Dance Ensemble. Let's welcome them with a clap.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you so much. Thank you. Ehimomo Dance Ensemble, thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you for that beautiful performance. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, it is now time to take the keynote address and official opening by our guest of honor, Speaker of the Parliament of Ghana. Right Honorable Abansumana Kingsford Bagwin is the Speaker of the 9th Parliament of Ghana and one of the country's most distinguished statesmen. He is a teacher, a lawyer, and a politician, and has carved a historic legacy of service for himself. Right Honorable Bagwin was called to the Ghana Bar in 1982. He engaged in private legal practice, co-founded Achim Chambers, and later established Law Trust, a model law firm noted for excellence in ethics and training. He managed the firm until 2001, when he transitioned into full-time parliamentary leadership. Speaker Bagwin served continuously as a member of parliament from 1993 to 2021, winning 7 consecutive elections. I deserve he deserves a clap for that. Yes. Over this period, he held leadership roles across the political divide. Affairs, Business Committee, Works and Housing, and Minister of Health, contributing significantly to policy reforms and infrastructure development. On the international front, he is a founding member of the Global Organization of Parliamentarians Against Corruption. He also served on the Parliamentarians for Global Action and was president of the Standing Committee on Democracy and Human Rights of Interparliamentary Union. On 7th January 2021, Right Honorable Abansumana Kingsford Bagwin was elected Speaker of the 8th Parliament of the 4th Republic of Ghana, thus becoming the first person ever in the history of Ghana and the Parliament of Ghana to be elected to the high office of Speaker of Parliament from a political party that was neither in government nor in control of the majority of seats in Parliament. In 2024, Right Honorable Bagwin was re-elected Speaker and continues to steer the House with distinction. As Speaker, he has led significant reforms in Ghana's Parliament, including the revision of the standing orders, introduction of a code of conduct for members, and institution of the National Integrity Awards. Until October 2023, he served as president of the Commonwealth Parliamentary Association, CPA, after he had previously held the roles of vice president of the CPA and legal counsel in its transformation process. In 2024, he was re-elected as president of the Conference of Speakers and president of Africa Legislatures, COSPAL. Right Honorable Bagben is a symbol of integrity, democratic values, and national cohesion. His unique trajectory from a teacher and barrister to a parliamentary reformer and Pan-African legislative leader continues to inspire generations of leaders. His tenure has significantly redefined the role of Speaker and enhanced the institutional strength of Parliament. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, with a standing ovation, shall we welcome the Right Honorable Speaker of the Parliament of Ghana, Right Honorable Alban Kingsford Sumana Bagben.
Please be seated. May I, with your kind indulgence, simply adopt the existing protocol and proceed to warmly welcome all of you to your home, Ghana. All of you are from Ghana. And I happen to have been to all your countries. And your former presidents have all worked with me up to today's presidents. And so I'm very familiar with the work in Commonwealth, and particularly the Commonwealth African countries. So it's a pleasure to have you here, and I was really very happy to hear that you wanted to organize this conference in Ghana, and I speedily gave approval, and I'm happy you've all found time to be here. Thank you so much. Unfortunately, the global disorders, and as God will have it, we are grieving at this time. And I want to plead with all of you to stand in a minute's silence. It will be our honor, not only to them, but also to ourselves. A minute's silence, please. May their souls and the souls of the faithful departed rest in perfect peace. Amen. It's really with the quality of the leaders we have in Parliament. And so kindly applaud. A very good, made my work so easy. My task now, and they know it, we've been doing our best. On a few occasions, there's always disagreement. But because your work is not so contemporaneous in the public domain, the picture is painted as if we are always at war with each other. You see how critical your work is and why we should be with you all the time. I have been with you, you've been told, from January 1993. And for the Parliament of Ghana, I can give ample testimony as to how your department has developed up to date. I can recall in 1993 how we sent the first personnel to study outside. And so I'm happy to have you, and how we've been struggling to catch up in call. And this is just a reference, but not that it's part of your work, how parliaments started in the world in 1215. The document we called part of parliamentary proceedings. But at least that is where it all began. What we are all still referring to as the beginning of parliamentary democracy. And so your work told how the Hansard started, and that was as far back as 1844, where Thomas Erskine May started it all. And I don't know how many of you have read the first edition. And what is the latest edition now? That's where we are now. It's here. Published in 2019. I think it will help you in your work. I haven't completed this edition. Earlier editions I have. By the nature of my history, definitely I would have gone through it because it's very important for the work we do. But that is for the Commonwealth. It's not the same for other parliaments. Anglophony, and the Luxophone is also different. So are the Arabia. We have all speakers in Africa. I'm in my second term as their chairperson. So we've had challenges because many institutions outside Parliament don't understand Parliament. And those colleagues who were here will recall how various attempts have been made for us to start office in this work, particularly some ministries, decided because the systems they use in Europe is this different from the systems we use in the Commonwealth. And so when they tried putting those technological innovations in our parliament, it failed and it couldn't work. And now we have some challenges we are still going through. I hope we'll resolve them sooner than later. And so we have put in a very strong request that these things be left to us in Parliament to do, not for ministries outside Parliament to dictate to us as to what we should do. So you have a unique work, and it's important in my submission I draw your attention to some of these things. But I also see that you assume this is how it's always done, and that is how it should be done. The public service. Your work is very, very different from the public service. Different set of conditions of service from that of the public service. You are a speciality that is uncommon in the public service. You are not like just reporters or recorders. You are above that. And I'm going to read one of the standing orders in Parliament and draw your attention to it so that you know what it means when you talk about Hansard or official reports. For us in Ghana, we captured this in I will only read the relevant portions. Order 48.3, entitled Parliamentary Debates, otherwise referred to as Hansard. Excuse me. Traditionally, they say men don't weep. But sometimes, as our Minister for Justice and Attorney General said, official, otherwise referred to as Hansard, which contains the debates of each sitting of the House, shall be verbatim. B, prepared under the authority of the Speaker. And C, published in a form the Speaker may direct. (48)(4). A copy of the parliamentary debates shall be 48.5. The House shall correct and adopt the votes and proceedings to and record. That is the Hansard. Pattern. And must be prepared under the authority of the Speaker in a form. So when you come and record and take to your office and send that out as official reports, you are damaging the overview, different from the Western world and different from the Eastern world. Enough is consensus building. And so traditionally, where you meet, discuss issues and there are differences, the efforts are made behind language is used as the usual channels of communication. The usual the plenary sessions by the leader is what is the document of the House. And I've said, well, what we hear, what we understand are greatly, and so it's important we go by the law. And this was one of the areas that I disagree with the minority leader. Not just democracy, was people, and so important for you to go through all this, particularly in today's starting the future of Parliament in Africa. We are at a very, very, and my colleagues have drawn your attention to all that, including the opportunities and the threats. This is not just a technological world. We are dealing with now high technology, not just technology, very high technology. Every day, that is fake news or disinformation or misinformation is so great with what is happening. Not just AI, but you know all the software that has been developed by great minds, just for advancement of society, but also is leading to the destruction of what the Creator put in place. And so as you go through your conference, I want to urge you to take time and go beyond the normal. Because the official reports, and you seated here, really constitute Parliament. Without you, there's no parliament. Whatever we do will come to nothing. We are putting in place that. Because parliamentary language is different from the normal English that we speak around. In fact, we are insisting that it should not just be in English. We want our local languages to be part of Hansard reporting. Please just look at the countries that have advanced. How many of those countries have developed using foreign languages? None. Because communication, what you tell people, to let them take decisions, is very important. And so all the countries that have developed their own languages, and they are using that in teaching, in everything. And that is what accelerates the developments in those countries. We are compelled, because of the accident of history, to be using a foreign language we always refer to as the official language. We are all speaking English here. And I'm not sure that we understand each other when we even speak the English. Well, my pronunciation is very different from your chair when he stood here with his very calm voice and spoke a type of English which is different from my English. But we come from the same source, and we're ruled by the same people. So are the other countries anyway. That is why Britain was called Great Britain. I don't know about today, whether it's still great or not. Again, across Africa, the setbacks. Our citizens are demanding greater transparency, but from Parliament itself. The weakness of democracy in Africa is a reflection of the weakness of the institutions of Parliament in Africa. The parliamentarians are the people they elect. So the people put in you, they trust. For 4 years or 5 years, please, I'm depending on you to improve my livelihood. How you communicate to them is very important. But they are not looking at the individual, because you know the individual can just do a little. They are looking at the state institutions. And the institution that moves things in every democracy is the institution of Parliament. Unfortunately, we've been along the wrong path. And so many Africans are still caught up and looking up to the executive. But it's what we decide that they implement. They execute what we decide. That is why the term honor, honorable, was bestowed on the members of Parliament. These days, any appointee is called honorable. I don't know who gave them that honor. They are appointing authorities, and they think that you are worthy of their trust. They repose that in you, and they give you a code that today, this is how you have to behave in order to serve us. efficiently and effectively. So your work in plenary and all the activities of Parliament, and that is why we discussed and agreed, and that is why has split you into some units. But it's important that you have the legislation office, which you have now. And it's important that we have the reporters, the official, and all those things. And we also upgraded your intake, the qualifications, eligibility to becoming a reporter in Parliament, not as before. I've been in Parliament all these 33 years. I have not measured up to the longest serving member of Parliament in the world. Who is that? Who knows the longest serving member of Parliament? Winston Churchill. He was over 50 years in the House of Commons. So I've not reached. I don't intend to go there. But what he gathered during that period, if you go to UK and you ask who is the best MP or the best Prime Minister in the UK, they will always refer to Winston Churchill. You know, and he was just a product of the wars that we fought some years ago. So things evolve at a rate that we are all now struggling to cope up with. And that is to listen to the value addition that you give to Parliament. And so when we are talking about budgeting, they should listen properly and make sure we have sufficient resources to invest in the official reporting department. I hope the finance and accounts departments are here. But we went far ahead to also ensure that we have a budget committee. And that budget committee, we made it clear that even before the budget is brought, rather from the preparatory stage of the budget, they should be involved so that together we can set the priorities for the country. If the people elect you to come and represent them, and somebody is setting priorities for you, how can you represent the people well? How can you be responsive to their needs and aspirations? And that is why we set up those committees to, at the end of the day, all laws passed are by Parliament. And if you don't pass a law, nobody can tax any person. And so it's another additional responsibility for us to be involved in, to make sure that we get things right, we prioritize our departments, we make sure that the critical departments and units are given the proper attention. And so these things were not done in a vacuum. Sometimes I hear whisper from members, staff of Parliament, that, oh, this thing is created because Right Honorable Bagwin is Speaker. After him, oh, it will not exist again. I hear it from you. Yes, from staff. And if you consult me, I can tell you the names. For a few years and go. But we are doing it because for all these years, 33 years I've been in this house, at least something would have stuck to me. And I'm happy you are here, particularly at this age. We call it the digital age, to try to. Now, global governance itself is under serious threat. And I like the partnership you are building, so that together, not only in Africa, not only in the Commonwealth, but at the World Parliament, we can have a very well-structured system of reporting. If not, the citizens' media will completely outshine the work you do. 11th Hansard. The need for technology. So what you are discussing about the future of how to have your final documents, show us the way forward. Submit to us your proposals as to how we can facilitate your work. We need you even when we are doing orientation and training of new members of parliament. You know how for members of parliament, they are the most endangered species when it comes to representative governance. You can do all, kill yourself for the people, but the way they assess you is different from what you think they want. And sometimes the most painful are those that you invest all your trust in. It's honorable. And so we need you to have those records, as they refer to, because history is the best judge to enhance your work. We want you to be able to report accurately. We want you to respond speedily, because as I refer to, the citizens or the new media that we have, the new innovation and technology that is a threat even to your work. And we don't want things to come like the olden days. We used to have what we call akasanoma. Even when we started Parliament in 1993, I recall a member of Parliament who used his common fund to buy wireless to go and distribute to his constituents. And they said he has misused the common fund, because the common fund is for infrastructure. And this was seriously debated in Parliament. And he said, it's not for infrastructure. They say it is for development, information. A radio, Casanoma, or wireless. Because as you even walk, there's something else. And so please, I'll just draw your attention to a few challenges. The first is Hansard records. Now, the common phrase is e-parliament, paperless parliament. How do we ensure these things? As I speak today, somebody can just take my picture as I stand before you and change these things I'm communicating to you and use a different language. And how my mouth is opening and closing, they will merge in such a way that anybody listening will say, this is what the speaker said at this conference. It's a very serious threat. How to educate many more people to be editors and staff, to have the necessary knowledge, skills. When I usually visit the Rwandan parliament, I can see great difference between the Rwandan parliament and ours in Ghana. But they run a different system, very different from what we do here. Particularly their public service. very different. And so in such a circumstance, how do we ensure that all members of the Commonwealth Hansard Editors Association benefit from the current innovation and technological advancement? You have been leave office. Ghana's parliament will be completely different from what it was never known to be. I'm happy my leaders are with me in this. As we continue to learn from each other, you've been told about the differences, whether it's South Africa or Kenya, second home. I didn't know that. Whether it's the lions, he go there. I didn't see lions there.
Not in Freetown.
Or it's just the mountains that they use to describe the country. I was also told there was some roar of the weather, and we need to work together. I'm happy that you added Seychelles, Mauritius, and all the other, and we had some bilaterals together. So please, while we embrace machines and algorithms, we must never forget the human expertise behind a human touch and professional development. Continuous growth of our Hansard officers, ensuring they are equipped not only to use new tools, but to lead. Allow others to create it for us. We should also, in our own small way, create the new tools. I would therefore want to take this opportunity to urge all governments and parliaments across Africa to provide the resources, recognition, and respect that our Hansard departments truly deserve. Your central Enhanced Parliamentary Report Conference be a signboard for new ideas, stronger networks, and shared innovation. I encourage you all to continue exploring new ways to leverage technology and innovation in your work, ensuring that the Hansard tradition remains relevant and effective in the digital age. On behalf of the Parliament of Ghana and my able leadership here, it's not only the majority and minority leaders, they have their whips here. Luckily, I'm not a member of parliament, so the whips can't whip me. You know, in some of your parliaments, the speaker is a member of parliament. In Ghana, the speaker is not a member of parliament. So I'm saved, I'm secure, I'm protected. They can't touch me. I can only touch them. So on behalf of the Parliament of Ghana and all those I've mentioned, I wish you fruitful deliberations, bold conversations, and I mean it, bold conversations, and enduring partnerships. Go beyond the conference to have person-to-person relations. I'm not going beyond the other one. I mean, we are one and the same people. Take the opportunity of coming to this country. Ghana used to be referred to as the Mecca of the black race. Any person that was black anywhere in the world wanted to visit Ghana. Please, we still have what it takes for you to identify with Ghana, and particularly the capital, Accra. May your time here be productive, and may your efforts echo far beyond this conference hall into the pages of history that you will so faithfully document. I want on behalf, once again, of the Parliament and the leadership, to wish you a pleasant stay in Accra, and I hope you enjoy the warmth and hospitality of our people. I have very good leaders here. They can take you anywhere in town. In fact, they know more than me when it comes to town, and where you can make yourself a human being. Don't just be only tools to be used in offices. Enjoy life whilst you are young. With this, I have the singular honor to declare the 11th Biennial Commonwealth Hansard Editors Association Africa Region Conference duly opened. Thank you so much.
Shall we please be seated? Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. That was a very interesting address, so many nuggets of wisdom, and a lesson in history as well. I don't know if Right Honorable Speaker is aware, but in the parliamentary service, we say, ask Bagbin. Ask Bagbin. He has all the answers and a wealth of knowledge in history, in governance, and in parliamentary procedure. Shall we please, one more time, give him a round of applause? We are getting closer to the end of this morning's session. When we started this morning, we taught you how to say welcome in CHEA, Akwaba. Before we leave, we'd like to give you one more lesson to our friends who have come from other countries in Africa. So turn to your neighbor, ask them, eteseng, eteseng, which simply means, how are you? How are you? Eteseng. Yes. Oho teseng. Thank you for the correction. We're all learning. We're all learning. So please, let's take it one more time. Woho teseng. And then you respond, meho ye. Very good. We are doing very well. Let's put our hands together for ourselves. The next item on our program is for us to take the African Union Anthem. So, with all humility, let us please rise while the anthem plays. Thank you.
Let us all unite and celebrate together the victories won for our liberation. Let us dedicate ourselves to rise together to defend our liberty.
Thank you very much. Shall we please resume our seats? Before the photographs, we'll take a vote of thanks from Alhaji Adam Idrisu.
Thank you so much. Because of time, I simply want to thank the Right Honorable Speaker for making time to be with us. We are really grateful. In Parliament, we say, Father, oh, Father. We are very grateful for coming. We also wish to thank the Honorable Majority Leader, Honorable Muhammad Yarga, the Honorable Minority Leader, Honorable Osahin Afenyomakin, the Honorable Deputy Minority Leader, Honorable Patricia Piaget, the Honorable Majority Chief Whip, Honorable Roxanne Nelson, Ike Dafianapo, Honorable Majority First Deputy Whip, Honorable Comfort Doyok. I'm grateful for welcome. We'll just take some group photographs here and then we are done. Thank you for coming. We really appreciate all of you for coming to the conference. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Alhaji Adam. So we start the photography first from the high table. Please, all CHEA ESCO members be on standby. Yes, so the high table first take the photography. CHEA ESCO members, please be on standby. Please, leadership of Parliament, please join them. CHEA ESCO members. CHEA ESCO members. Shall we have the deputy clerks and members of management join them, please? Deputy clerks and members of management. Resource persons, please be on standby. Resource persons. Resource persons. Resource persons. Okay, so now we now invite delegates and observers. Delegates and observers from all countries. Delegates. Delegates and observers from all countries. Delegates and observers from all countries.
But by this corner,